Hey, I'm Jeremy from A Day to Remember, and we are in Tilburg right now.
So how are you? How was your trip? Yeah.
Trip's been good so far. We had a lot of time off for the holidays to relax and kind of get ready for this tour. Actually, this is the first tour on our new record, pretty much. So yeah, we're excited.
And it's the first show, right?
It is the first show. Yeah, tonight they're getting some of the first times we're playing some of the new songs.
Are you excited?
Very excited.
Well, tonight is sold out. Are you happy?
Yes.
What's it like to sell out shows this far from home?
Amazing. We never thought that we'd even get the opportunity to play overseas when we started. I mean, we barely figured we'd get out of the state of Florida. So it's amazing. Actually, we used to gauge our success when we started out as a local band in Florida by we haven't really made it until we can play a show. Just play a show overseas.
Yeah.
So absolutely amazing to have a following here.
And you're still amazed after about 10 years? What is it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy to get like sucked into the routine of everything and forget like where you're at. But usually once a week or so, it really hits me. It's like, wow, this is nuts that we get to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you like our country? You've been here before, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. We've actually played this venue before, which is one of my favorites. Actually, I think last time I was here, we did a pretty crazy stunt with a ball, and it was awesome. I'll never forget it. There was somebody breathing fire on the floor, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah, well, that wasn't planned. That wasn't part of our show, but someone was doing it, and security didn't care.
Oh, well, no. Well, it's pretty cold here. It's nothing like your hometown, I guess.
Ours actually is usually warm, but we were expecting a lot worse, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, well, okay. And your hometown obviously means a lot to you. I mean, you even wrote a song about it on...
Multiple times.
Yeah. Would you say it's your favorite place on earth?
Well, I guess that depends on the day you ask me. Because, I actually have a positive song I wrote about it, and then have a negative song that we wrote about it too. So, I mean, it is what it is. That town made us the band we are. Literally, it made us play the music that we play. So if we hadn't lived there, we would have never been us.
Yeah. And do you ever find it hard to go out on tour for a couple of months and leave the city?
I mean, it used to be a lot harder than it is these days. I mean, we've been a band, this is our 11th year as a band now. Yeah. So I think I struggled most with it in the first few years, and now that we do it, it's just cool. It's awesome that we have the opportunity.
Yeah, I get it. Is there a place on earth you've never played before but would really like to?
Yes, we would love to play in the Middle East. We'd love to play in Africa.
Basically every continent or something?
Pretty much. And China. We still haven't played a show in China.
Okay.
We've hit a lot of other places.
Well, it's about time then.
Yeah, it is. But whenever they'd let us would be cool.
Yeah, would be cool. So it took a while for you to release your album.
Yes.
Kind of struggles with your previous label. And for Europe, you got some help from Universal, right? For the release.
Yes. Yeah. Wow,
and do you think you will be working together with the label in the future, or
I'm not sure.
Some other stuff?
To be honest with you, when we were getting together the team that was going to work it for each area of the world, we didn't really have a lot of options because there was only a select few out of the whole planet that would even give it a shot. A lot of people were like weirded out. It's like, well, your lawsuit hasn't been figured out yet, so we don't want to touch this.
Yeah.
So the people that we ended up going with turned out to be the only people who genuinely didn't care what happened to them. They were just going to put out the album for us, and so we went with them.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So undecided about the future yet?
You mean like when it comes to record labels and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to depend a lot on how well this album does. And actually, it's already over the halfway point of selling what both of the last two albums had sold total already. So we're only a few months in, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah,
so
obviously.
We'll see what happens the next year or so.
And the sound of Common Courtesy is quite similar to other albums, I think. But a lot changed, obviously, behind the scenes. Did this influence the music in any way?
I think so. I mean, it always influences the music. what's going on with their lives, because that's actually what I write the songs about.
Yeah.
So, and I try to be as blunt as possible. It's usually like each song was a completely different time period in the 3 years that it's been since the last album. So I kind of sum up in song precisely what happened to our band for the last cycle.
Yeah.
And that's this album.
Yeah. You are from a scene in which bands are pretty much all friends, obviously, well, as we can see in your video for All I Want.
Right.
Did you feel supported by these bands during all these struggles with the label, and do you think this might have been a wake-up call for them to reconsider what they've signed, you know, and the contracts they've signed?
I don't know. I haven't really had time to talk to people about it. We've had a lot of time off. I've just talked with a few bands that we toured with on the House Party tour in the States. I remember before it was figured out, because it actually all went down on our House Party tour in the States. And yeah, everybody was real nervous. Nobody, to be honest with you, even us, we didn't expect it to go our way, but we were still going to, stand up for what we thought was right. And then when it came out that the judge was going to allow us to release our album, it was the support we got from the fans and friends in the music industry was amazing, because nobody expected it, and it happened. So it was amazing. One of the best experiences I've ever felt in my life. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It felt like you won the World Series or something along those lines. So it was awesome.
We all know what common courtesy means, but what is the reason you chose this to be your album's title? Does it refer to anything? Or?
It does. First off, I just think it sounds good. I thought of that actually almost 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
And kind of kept it around. I actually asked to name the last album Common Courtesy, but it just didn't feel right, so we didn't. And so on this one, when we did it, I knew immediately when the first few songs started coming in and we could really listen to what we were doing and get a feel for what the album was going to feel like. That name immediately, I knew it. And I didn't know it on the last album, so that was kind of interesting that happened all together. And the thought process is, it ties in a lot with the artwork. If you notice, the front of the album, the cover, once you take off the slip, is the world view of a person from, face to face with what's going on around them. And then when the person's back is turned, it's a completely different scene of what's going on with the world, with people you thought you knew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like to your face, behind your back. And the title, Common Courtesy, at least in my thoughts, was just a subtle way for us to say, we're all human beings and we should just be better to one another.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. It's deep.
Thank you.
I was wondering, how do you write songs? Do you, I don't know, do you put something on paper every time it pops into your head, or do you plan writing sessions, or?
We try a little bit of both, but mainly what it is I'm writing constantly. I mean, all the time. I don't ever really plan it out. I just kind of hear songs in my head, and I just have to figure them out whenever that happens. Yeah. So I'm never too far away from an acoustic guitar. And anytime I have something that I really like, I usually do like a little easy, recording of it so I don't forget it. Write down whatever words I hear, or mumble if I can't think of anything to say at the time. But, I just keep that. And if it's something that I really like over time that still sticks out 2-3 years later, then we use it on records. I try to fit it in to what we're writing at the time and just fit in these really awesome parts. And you can really, I have hundreds, probably close to 1,000 different things that I've saved over time. And when you can really go through it all, you can really pick out some amazing stuff when you do it like that. It's like, this is me actually at my best from the span of 2009 forward. So there's always this library that I have of stuff that I've loved. And I only use the parts for albums that I really love, that sticks out over time. Wow.
What inspires you during writing? I mean, is it the same thing, or?
Like I said, it all depends on what's going on with us at the time. And usually when I have an experience that really generates a lot of emotion for me as a person, I usually try to write. I don't even try, I just do. It's kind of like my way of feeling better about a problem I'm having, or being frustrated with something that's going on with me. And that's usually when it happens. I usually hear like words in my head, or I'm thinking something and then I kind of put it together in a cool way, just thinking, and I'll use those as the ideas. And when you do it right when it happens to you, I feel like you can really capture a feeling and a mood that you wouldn't have if you were just like, oh, I want to write a song about this, but I don't feel like that anymore. You got to catch it then. That's how I do it, at least. And I feel like it helps, and really helps us as a band, because these people actually feel what we're talking about when they listen to it.
Your former guitarist and one of the founding members, Stam, left the band, well, a couple of years ago, but he still plays a significant role in A Day to Remember, right?
He does, yeah.
He's even helped you with this album. What is it like to still be able to work with him?
It's awesome. He's one of my best friends. He always has been. He's the one who called me up to be in this band. It's like, hey, I'm starting a new band. You want to do it? And just went over to his house, and that's where all this began. So, yeah, we've just always been friends. And when he quit, it was like on mutual terms. Like, we didn't want him to go, but he really wanted to. Yeah. So we understood. You know what I mean? We're all friends, and just do your thing. Make you happy first off. And he's just always been cool about still writing with us, still working with us as we've moved forward. And yeah, so the music never changed. It's like he's still here, but he's doing what makes him happy.
Well, that's good. Something quite different. I've noticed quite a few bands have been releasing documentaries lately. Do you think your fans will be able to see you on a DVD anytime soon? Or?
That's funny you say that. Actually, we're about to shoot a DVD. This is the first time I've said this, by the way, in public. Wow. We've been planning for this almost a year. We're going to film our show in London on this tour. And we have our whole big house party tour set. It's one of the only venues it could fit in. Yeah. So we couldn't bring it on the whole thing. That sucks. But we did the big show in London, and the tickets are doing very well. So it just made sense to do it there.
And any behind the scenes footage, or?
Yes, we're starting to collect that right now. We've actually been filming, kind of creating a video library since 2009 as well. Yeah. So we've been filming the whole time. We plan on doing something pretty crazy in the long run, but right now we're focused on shooting this live DVD, putting out like a live record with it. It's going to be cool.
Interesting.
First time I said it right there.
Wow. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Hopefully still doing this. That's the goal. In some way, shape, or form, I want to be attached to music. That's all I care about.
And is there anything you'd like to say to your fans? Last question.
Yeah, thanks for supporting us on this record. We really needed people's support, and you guys gave it to us. Thanks for helping us.